Ani, and welcome to Northern Michigan University's 2021 Fall Convocation. I hope that everyone had a good summer. I'd like to take a moment to pay respect to the past, present, and future First Peoples on whose land we live and work. Our university is located on the ancestral homelands of the Anishinaabe people, and it is with great pride that we honor the indigenous members of our community, Chi-miigwech. This fall, we give a special welcome to 21 faculty, 40 graduate assistants, and 21 staff members who are new to the Northern family. Please stand so we can say hello. Please do not be shy about introducing yourselves to us as opportunities arise so we can get to know you better and how you came to Northern and if there's any way that we might be helpful. I also want to give a special welcome to Jan Erickson, who is here with us today, and several guests, including members and former members of the Board of Trustees who are here or watching remotely. Welcome to all. I usually begin my convocation remarks by highlighting some of the past year's accomplishments. However, I think we might all agree that this past year in and of itself was a major accomplishment. Together, we successfully navigated the most significant and I would say consequential global pandemic of the last 100 years. I am so proud and truly privileged to be the provost and vice president of an academic unit that performed so admirably under the most complicated, fast-changing, and stressful situations. Our entire Northern Michigan University community, students, faculty, and staff, continuously stepped up to the myriad COVID-19 challenges. Thank you to the faculty who did an amazing job with in-person and remote work in the classroom, and to the frontline staff who continue to meet with and provide for the needs of our students. Your dedication to our students, making sure they could continue to learn and be part of our campus community, was phenomenal. I wish I could stand here and say, wow, glad that's over. Unfortunately, I can't. The COVID continues, and while vaccination has made it possible for us to return to a somewhat pre-pandemic state, we are all obviously still aware of and concerned about the ongoing pandemic. Northern has a team of people monitoring the situation in Marquette County, and the Upper Peninsula, as well as state, regional, and national trends. I think one of the things that made us so successful this past year was the willingness to be flexible for the changes as the virus dictated. Flexibility and the readiness to change continues to be our mantra as we enter into this new academic year. I know we are all really ready for COVID to be a word we hardly use, but for right now, I thank you in advance for your patience as we monitor and make changes as the situation changes. I also thank you for your ongoing compassion and grace in working with students and colleagues as everyone continues to face situations more stressful by the pandemic. I am grateful that we are a kind, patient, and dedicated community. Even in the midst of the pandemic, great things continued to happen at Northern. Most importantly, students are learning, researching, growing personally and professionally, graduating, and moving on to take their place in the world. From a broad campus perspective, there are two accomplishments from the past year that I will highlight today. First, congratulations, and thank you to all who are involved in helping Northern successfully complete our mid-cycle assurance review by the Higher Learning Commission. The university met all 18 core components with no required follow-up monitoring. As a participant of the Higher Learning Commission's Open Pathway, we follow a 10-year accreditation cycle that is focused on quality assurance and institutional improvement. A special thank you to Jason Nicholas, Dan Cullen, and Joanne Sved of Institutional Research, as well as faculty Catherine Johnson of History and Sean Fennell of Clinical Sciences, who assisted in the writing of Northern's 100-plus page report. This was a massive undertaking and a job well done, and it certainly reflects the high quality of learning, teaching, and engagement work that is done at Northern each academic year. Secondly, For those of you who do not already know, Northern received a Silver Stars rating from the Association for the Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education. This was a move up from our previous rating of bronze. The rating system factors in academic and research operations and administration, planning, and engagement, among many things. Northern's academic departments offering sustainability-related courses increased from 62% to 80% in the 3 years between reviews. The number of departments with at least one faculty member doing sustainability research jumped from 38% to 68%, and nearly 25% of NMU tenure-track faculty are doing related research. Like the HLC mid-cycle review, the STARS audit took a dedicated team of individuals to compile the documents needed for the review. Thank you to Sarah Middlefelt, Brandon Sager, Jess Thompson, and all the members of the President's Sustainability Advisory Council who worked on this project. I'm also pleased and excited about the progress of 3 relatively recent initiatives: the Forensic Outdoor Research Station, more commonly known as FROST, the Northern Michigan University Center for Rural Health, and more recently, SISU, the Innovation Institute at NMU. FROST is led by Jane Harris and is one of the few facilities in the world that studies human composition in a cold climate. Already, we have had impressive research efforts by Northern faculty and students at FROST, as well as external researchers. Elise Burr is the new director of Northern Center for Rural Health, and she got things underway last year with a wide range of activities, and such as the flu essay contest for UP school children. She had a flu shot contest among UP's 4 universities. Finlandia won. Developing collaborations between UP health organizations and grant writing for UP health-related activities. She recently was awarded a 2-year nutrition and healthy lifestyle grant from the Michigan Health Foundation in the amount of $192,421. This project will determine the feasibility of an aggregation, distribution, and light food processing facility serving Marquette and Alger counties. The infrastructure will address food insecurity, support the growth of local and charitable food systems, and increase the access to nutrient-dense foods in the entire UP. Congratulations, and thank you, Elise. Most recently, Jess Thompson and Bill Dignite accepted the role as co-founding directors of SISU, the Innovation Institute at NMU. As we all know, they are both role models of innovation. You'll be hearing from Jess and Bill shortly, so I won't go into more on this now, except to thank Jess and Bill again for leading us this year in our innovation efforts, and to thank all of the many faculty who have been involved in helping launch our 3 centers. So today, let's celebrate the success of the past year and our anticipated successes of the upcoming year, and all of the rigorous and innovative work that students, faculty, and staff are doing. One of the university's Convocation traditions is to recognize the University Distinguished Faculty of the Year recipient. Due to the pandemic, we're honoring our award recipients from the past 2 award cycles. We want to publicly applaud you all one more time. The 2020 NMU Distinguished Faculty of the Year recipient is Dr. Leslie Larkin. Dr. Larkin has taught at NMU's Department of English since 2008. She earned her PhD from the University of Washington. She is among the most highly respected professors in the English department. Students praise her for keeping her courses relevant and for requiring them to work hard. She exemplifies the ideal that teaching and research complement one another. It gives me great pleasure to present our 2020 Distinguished Faculty Award recipient, to Dr. Leslie Larkin. Dr. Larkin, if you're here, would you please stand so we could recognize you? And if we don't see her, let's clap anyway. In 2021, the NMU Distinguished Faculty Award was endowed, and it was renamed the Stephen Young and Tricia Kindley Distinguished Faculty Award. As you may know, Steve Young is a member of our Board of Trustees. The inaugural Stephen Young and Tricia Kindley Distinguished Faculty Award recipient is Dr. Kia Richmond. Dr. Richmond has taught at NAU's Department of English since 2001. She earned her PhD from Illinois State University. Dr. Richmond serves as Director of Secondary Education in English. She is exceptionally committed to her profession and her students. Through her influence on future educators, hundreds of high school students in Michigan and throughout the country have benefited from her knowledge. It gives me great pleasure to present our 2021 Stephen Young and Tricia Kinley Distinguished Faculty Award to Dr. Kia Richmond. And Kia, if you are here, please stand and be recognized. I know Steve and Tricia are watching today's convocation. I want to thank them again for endowing this in support of the faculty at Northern. It is greatly appreciated. Unfortunately, time does not allow for us to recognize all of the faculty and staff award winners of the past 2 years. However, you can learn more about the most recent recipients of each award and about the awards themselves on the Academic Affairs website, or go to Northern Today and you can search for faculty awards presented. The Excellence in Service Staff and NMU Team Awards are found on the Human Resources website. Let's give a big hand to everyone faculty, staff, and team award recipients for their outstanding work. We appreciate the work you do for Northern and for our students. The university and several of our programs were also recognized in the past year. While the list that I'm going to go through is not exhausted, and I apologize for any that I missed, I thought the campus community might like to quickly know where we rated in some of the recent national rankings. NMU appeared in multiple categories in the 2021 U.S. News & World Report Best Colleges rankings, including among the top 100 Midwest regional universities, the 16th top public in the region, among the top 50 best colleges for veterans, and top 100 best value school. NMU was also among the top 125 for advancing social mobility by enrolling and graduating large proportions of Pell Grant eligible students. In online surveys by study.com, Northern ranked 24th among the nation's best bachelor's degree programs in organizational and applied workplace leadership. We were 30th in entrepreneurship programs and 36th for our bachelor's degree in environmental science. Northern's Medical Laboratory Sciences bachelor's degree program ranked in the 20th best online clinical research degree in the nation by Online Schools Report. And Northern was one of only 230 institutions designated a voter-friendly campus for work done that encouraged students to register and vote in the 2020 elections and in the coming years. And Northern ranked 39th nationwide in a listing of the top 50 outdoor colleges compiled by Best Value Schools. Interestingly, the survey took into consideration the number of yearly days of sunshine. So I'm thinking if they didn't take that into consideration, we probably would have rated even higher. As you may now know, one of the outcomes of our strategic plan is, and I quote, enhance prestige and distinction in ways that we ensure are known for our teaching, experiential learning, scholarship, mentoring, and service, end quote. It's clear we're succeeding. Our successes of late are impressive in their innovation and strategic approach. I look forward to seeing what new ideas come forward in the upcoming year. We'll hear more about our strategic initiatives from President Erickson shortly. However, before we hear from our president, it is my pleasure and honor to bring to the podium the chair of the NMU Academic Senate, Dr. Norma Froelich. Dr. Froelich came to Northern in 2013 and is serving her second year as the chair of the Academic Senate. Her area of expertise and research interests include lake climatology and forest atmosphere interactions. She's also one of the many researchers that is doing work at Frost, where she studies meteorological applications in forensic sciences. Please help me in welcoming Dr. Norma Froelich.
Good afternoon. It is an honor to be here near the shores of Lake Superior within the ancestral homeland of the Anishinaabe people to welcome you to the new academic year. As Provost Schuling noted, today I'm representing the faculty on behalf of the Academic Senate. And before I get going, I do want to give a thank you to the various colleagues and friends who have given me inspiration, quotes, and other materials for this speech. For those new to NMU, the Senate here has a pretty important role in academic affairs. We have representatives from each academic department, the student body, and administration. Many other faculty, staff, and students serve on 11 committees which support the Senate's work, and we're very grateful for them. The Senate evaluates curriculum and program changes, academic policies, faculty proposals for academic research, and other faculty-wide concerns. Our work supports the academic mission of the university, the broader student experience at Northern, and the core values we foster in our students. Last year at Convocation, I spoke about the core value of opportunity and how we could view the challenges of teaching, learning, and working during the COVID pandemic as not as hassles, but as opportunities to grow and innovate. We at Northern met those challenges well. Now we're starting the new school year. This is always an exciting time with some anxious or nervous excitement, but a lot of enthusiasm too. For college students, the new school year brings nervousness about juggling new jobs and new classes, getting along with roommates, living away from home maybe for the first time. But it also brings a chance to learn new things, meet new friends, and start new adventures. For educators, a new school year generates passion and enthusiasm. Educators look forward to this time of year. Sure, there's worries about whether you'll have a class of enthusiastic, engaged students, or if there's gonna be half the class sitting towards the back texting the entire period. But the new semester, it's also a chance for us to meet new colleagues and new students, and it's a chance to try new teaching approaches. As an educator, I love to watch my students as they make new friendships and as they learn and grow. And sometimes, as an educator, I even get to see kind of a big aha moment spreading across the face of a student mid-class. And that pretty much makes my day when that happens. This summer, though, I really wasn't feeling the enthusiasm for this new school year. And in chatting with other faculty, I've found I'm not alone in that feeling. We're nervous about the ever-changing conditions of the COVID pandemic, and we've been struggling to find our enthusiasm for the school year. Some of that struggle is due to exhaustion from 17 months of change, pivot, adapt, innovate, revise, revise, revise again, as faculty and staff have made extraordinary efforts to continue delivering high-quality education. Some of the loss of enthusiasm comes from continuing to see racist and anti-LGBTQ attitudes nationally, and recently losing several talented, diverse leaders who came to Northern with enthusiasm and hope, yet became disappointed and left. And we also have widespread frustration from hoping everyone would do the right things to fight and eliminate COVID, yet seeing many who still think COVID is a hoax, and now seeing rise of new variants. These issues have brought a certain malaise to academic institutions everywhere. But here at NMU, the number one reason many faculty have been lacking enthusiasm for this new school year is that we've been working without a contract since July 1st. NMU faculty salaries average 9% below the average for Michigan public universities and are second lowest in the state in the Academe Salary Survey. We're also below average nationwide. In 2020, we accepted significant pay cuts and cuts to support our professional development as our part to help mitigate an expected pandemic-related financial catastrophe. The catastrophe was completely inverted thanks to millions of dollars in state and federal aid and to the efforts of faculty and staff to maintain enrollment. Now it appears that the NMU administration and its board of trustees would prefer to see many of those cuts made permanent. Meanwhile, the cost of living in Marquette has risen 6% in the last year alone, and there are many faculty who, because of cuts to summer college and overlaid pay, have had to go to the food bank just to be able to feed their children this year. The primary concern for faculty now is for our contract to return to 2019 compensation levels. Some departments have recently offered faculty jobs to talented young academics, but those offers were turned down because the compensation was not competitive. I've also heard from faculty members who are internationally known within their fields and highly valued by their students who are considering looking for work elsewhere. Newer faculty particularly are concerned that the cuts to pay and professional development will compound into their future, and they worry whether NMU is the right place for them. On the staff side, as people retire and leave or positions are not refilled, multiple units are left with one or two overloaded people just keeping things afloat. The faculty, staff, and students have lived up to NMU's core values. In spite of the challenges of this pandemic, we have embraced opportunity, practiced innovation, connected across the community, embraced our environment, all while maintaining academic rigor. But now many faculty and staff are struggling to find enthusiasm for the coming academic year and more long-range innovation. A crucial part of productive innovation is investment in people. That investment requires not just supportive words and carefully planned initiatives, but also fair contracts and adequate staffing. In a few minutes, the SISU Innovation Institute's new directors will be speaking. Their enthusiasm is commendable, but it may be unrealistic for all our faculty to fully engage with initiatives that look far to the future when our lack of a contract at this time makes us feel unappreciated and unsupported by the administration and board. Now, if our students and their parents are listening and they're getting worried by what I've said today and the lack of optimism so far, rest assured, we've got you. We, the faculty, believe in ourselves, in our staff, and in our students. When we walk into our classrooms Monday morning, we will be fully engaged with our students because we have a passion for teaching and learning, we care deeply about the education and lives of our students, and because we are dedicated professional educators. We are committed to doing the best for our students, even while we're disappointed and hurt by the unwillingness of the university's upper administration to invest in faculty and staff. Thank you for your attention. Thank you guys, and you're welcome. Next up, I'm pleased to introduce Bethany Beavers. She is the president of the ASNMU and will be speaking next.
So as Norma said, I'm Bethany Beavers. I'm the president of the Associated Students of Northern Michigan University. I'm a biophys major with a Spanish minor. I'm in Northern's pre-medical program. I'm a strong believer in the fact that there is no such thing as a perfect campus. Campuses are only as good as they are suitable for their students and their faculty. That's actually why I got involved with student government, because I wanted to be a part of the change and the making campus suitable for its constituents. That said, there's always room for improvement, and some of the things I'm looking to focus on in this coming year are civic engagement accessibility. Last year there was a satellite office established so students without transportation and such could vote under the leadership of Emma Drever. I'm hoping to do that again in this coming year for the primaries and just encouraging students to vote and get involved civically as well. Another thing I want to focus on is mental health resources on campus and just evaluation of those to ensure that they are adequate for students and up to par. It's no secret that there's a global pandemic happening right now, and that has left no shortage of mental health need in the country or the campus, etc. So I want to focus on those and make sure that they're adequate for students and those using them. So those are some of my goals. This is pretty short, but yeah, so now I would like to introduce President Fritz Erickson, who will be speaking next.
Good afternoon. So innovation is what we're going to be talking about today. But let me kind of take a moment sort of off script and respond a little bit to Norma. I deeply appreciate the comments that Norma has made and the collective commitment that we have to this institution. And I think there are real opportunities for us to move forward. And I certainly respect the rights of everyone to express themselves and certainly welcome you to express that. So since we're going to talk about innovation today, I want to invite faculty members Jess Thompson and Bill Dignite to the stage to share with you how our new SISU Innovation Institute is going to help forward our great ideas. Jess and Bill?
We've germ pooled.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Bill Dignite. I am one of the co-founding directors of SISU, and I am also the department head in the theater and dance area.
Hello, good afternoon. Jess Thompson. I am a professor in the College of Business. Yeah.
We're so excited to be here and talk to you and really show you what SISU is and what many people have been working on over years to get us here. And really want to commend the spirit of innovation that is in this campus, and it's in our bones. This is something that isn't new. The word innovation in Northern has been around for many, many years. We have always been innovating. And this is part of our history. This is part of the legacy. You can see some of these awesome images. We worked with, thanks Dan Truckee for finding us some great stuff, from the first class at Northern Michigan University to building the Superior Dome to Frost to the laptop initiative. Those I feel like some of you might have that laptop bag still. I see some of you. Yes,
today,
perfect.
yes.
I have seen a couple of you have those. Awesome. They don't make them like they used to, I guess, right? To the awesome public-private partnership with the new dorms on our campus. This is something everyone has been doing, always working to grow and engage our community, our campus, and the region of the UP and the Midwest. And this is something that we together and with all of you are going to accelerate through a couple of different processes. Our purpose here is to facilitate, incubate, and drive. We exist to do these three things. Some of that might be more physically demanding, and we're going to be there a lot. Other scenarios, we're going to be really doing that through guiding and moving people. But those are the three things that we're going to be doing, and that's when you're going to be engaging with us in ideas.
You want to switch?
Yeah.
All right, and it all comes through our core values. So we spent a lot of time in the 4 weeks that we've been in the job, maybe 5, talking to our colleagues, to champions on campus, to faculty, staff, administrators, people who had been engaged with the previous initial founding SISU director, and we started to hear some common themes, some things that were going to be really important to advocating for meaningful change on campus. And it was more opportunities for interdisciplinarity and collaboration, and the ability to be agile in decision-making, launching and implementing of different initiatives. And most importantly, a core value that we've both talked a lot about is inclusivity. How can we make sure that we've got everyone at the table, or at least they're invited to participate in these activities, and then communicating it and being really transparent in where things are in the process. So we have a couple little gimmicky things that we say to each other. I mean, I don't know whose brainchild this team was, but we have really found some some things that jive with how we see the world. And part of what we want to do with SISU is disrupt, and not just design thinking, but disruptive thinking. What things have been the way they've always been for no apparent reason? And how can we use this position and this opportunity to reconfigure and think about innovation in a way that serves our students, the community, and the region at large? So we're disrupting, we're innovating, and ideally changing for the better and for the future. We're still using the design thinking. We drank that Kool-Aid. We believe in the process. We believe that it's critical to think all the way through these steps for really meaningful innovation for our constituents. Great word, Bethany, by the way. I'm just going to reuse that here. And so we have a process. Similar, people have asked, we get this question a lot, how are you different from Invent? Think of us as Invent for academics. Think of us as Invent for internal programs, initiatives on campus. Whether it's a Wildcat Wednesday, where we get everyone a discount on spirit gear and you show up to class or your office on Wednesdays wearing your green and gold, or something that I've been working on for 4 or 5 years is this idea of a sustainability hub. We call it SHINE because that's also a really awesome acronym. And it started as a small PIF. It was like a $20,000 PIF award in 2015 that had then led to a sustainability plan. It led to a bronze rating. And as you heard from the provost, we're now a silver institution. But to take that the next step, we need to be a hub that brings all of those faculty and departments and groups on campus working on sustainability together. So that's something we've moved to the incubate bucket, and we're working on initiatives like that. Maybe there's something you've been working on for 4 or 5 years. I talked to someone yesterday, they'd been thinking about this idea for their program for the past 8 years, and now is the time because we can provide the facilitation, some resources to help jumpstart the process. And that's really what SISU is all about, because we know that innovation doesn't just happen on the side. It can't be something that you do after you finish grading or cleaning or compiling your paperwork for your particular division, but it is something that can be facilitated, and we can offer that support. So what we're doing next is engaging in some community building activities and bringing that design thinking to departments and divisions all across campus. It does, again, repeat, it does not have to be an academic initiative. And then we want to listen to, and that's really what the first month has been. People want to be heard. They're ready to tell you their story, and man, they got ideas. So we are listening with open ears and trying to connect people who have similar ideas, maybe different approaches and perspectives, and getting them together in the same room and help hire some students to do some of the research. Ideally, we'd like to bring some fellows in, again, from staff or faculty. You've got an idea, but you need a little bit of release time to take it to the next level. We can help you. We can be that place. And then we want to make sure that we spread the word. And speaking of that, we have a forum scheduled on Wednesday, September 6th. And we are planning to convene under one of the white tents in the academic mall next week. So that's what we have for you, Bill. Did you want to add anything else?
We're just excited to really be engaging with you. These initiatives, you all have them. You all talk about them at the water cooler conversation, or water fountains these days, right? And our job is to be the collection point. And we keep saying we're the metaphorical water cooler conversation, because bring it to us, and maybe you don't want to even be the champion or ownership of it. You're like, this is a great idea, and I don't want to do it, but I think someone else should. Yeah. If you give us that idea, it's going to go on the board, and it's going to live there because someone else says, I have some time and I want to do something. We're like, you could do this, or we can help facilitate that, or get 5 people that are working on very similar projects and group them together, pull the funding together, get all of those things happening. We do have great support from the administration on all levels. to make this happen and facilitate these transformational changes to new programs, new innovations, to current existing innovations that need to happen. Recruitment and retention are going to be super powerful in what we're doing, and collaboration is key. We have to do this together on all levels, from the staff to the custodians to everybody. Everybody has a hand in these ideas that we're facilitating, and that's where it's going to come from. We don't care who you are, students, anybody. Please come bring us your ideas. If you get an idea and you get it all the way through, you do get one of these cool shirts. So that's swag, yeah, with our wonderful icon. Thank you, Derek Hall. And if you did notice on our icon and our logo there, that is the top of the torch from our NMU crest. And that is because innovation, this innovation is connected to Northern, and it's going to take grit. It's going to take the guts to have these sometimes awkward conversations or unique ideas, and we're going to have to push through and create new trails and new paths. And everybody here and everybody listening and everybody watching in this campus is full of it. You guys all do it all day long. We keep saying, we've been doing a lot of garden references lately. The field is ready to sprout these ideas. The soil is ready, and we need you to come bring and engage with us. So we're going to be around. Please talk to us. If you know either one of us, we'll have a conversation at any point. We have a great coffee machine, and we look forward to talking to you all very, very soon. Thank you.
So on the enthusiasm scale, I think Jess and Bill are off the scale. It's really been a delight. Working with them, and I think it's just going to take us all great energy to keep up with all of the terrific ideas that they have come forward. And I'm hoping one day I can get one of those plaid shirts. Unless you're really new to the Northern family, you're most likely aware that we spent a portion of last winter's semester updating our strategic plan. This plan itself seems to be serving our campus really quite well. People know what our focus areas, and what our strategic outcomes are. And the plan allows for maximum flexibility for each department and area to apply those to their decision-making and goal setting. So we didn't feel the need for a whole new strategic plan, especially to try and develop one in the middle of a global pandemic. However, we had accomplished a lot of the original goals and initiatives in the plan, so an updated plan seemed to be most appropriate. As part of that update, we added 2 new strategic focus areas and 2 new strategic outcomes to the fore in each category that we already had. Our new focus areas are in equity in systems and processes and mind and body wellness, 2 very important concepts for us. Our new strategic outcomes are supporting sustainability and carbon neutrality and supporting a rural agenda. So what does the addition of the new focus areas and strategic outcomes mean for the campus? Regarding the new focus areas, it means Northern will be actively working to find new ways to incorporate social equity and mind and body wellness into the overall Northern experience for our students and for our employees. This means we'll be exploring what types of new programs we can develop that will help to accomplish this. It means we'll be reviewing our current policies and procedures to see how they should be changed, deleted, or created new as a means to bring social equity and mind-body wellness to Northern standard operating procedures. And of course, we'll be looking for ways to be innovative. In fact, I'd like to say to be distinctly Northern in how we identify new opportunities in these areas. Regarding the new strategic outcomes, these additions to our strategic plan mean that it is now an expectation that in all of our university decision-making, all of our new initiatives and their implementations, all of the innovation discussions we're going to have, we need to see how we can incorporate the rural agenda supporting sustainability and carbon neutrality wherever we can and to the highest level we can. We need to deliberately strive to add rural agenda and sustainability ingenuity into our actions. This won't always be easy to do. At times it may be expensive. Sometimes it will be at odds with other operations or desires on our campus. But these conversations we need to have, and complicated situations we will need to navigate, because I believe at Northern we can be a leader in both of these areas if we put ourselves up to this challenge. In these two areas, how can we innovate our way to a national and international stage? Along with our 2 new focus areas and 2 new strategic outcomes, we selected 6 post-pandemic priority initiatives. And I want to update you a little bit on these initiatives. For each of the 6 initiatives, I've asked a campus leader to lead a task force or a university committee to work on those goals, timelines, recommendations over the course of this semester. Each group will bring these ideas to the Executive Council for review and back to the campus for broad feedback. The revised plans will come back to the Executive Council for final review and approval before being presented to the NMU Board of Trustees for an investment support. I anticipate the initiatives will work on different timelines, as some of these priority initiatives have already been deep into discussion and planning, and others are at the start of exploration. Let me give you a quick update on each. So, Career Tech and Engineering Support Initiative work group is being led by Vice President Steve Vandenhoven. This initiative includes the renovation of our current CTE facility, the Jacobetti Complex. As you may recall, there have been an outside shot at some private funding, and had that materialized in time, we would have considered putting a brand new facility right to the center of campus. Unfortunately, that did not pan out in a timely fashion. Thus, we'll be going forward with the capital outlay project that was funded prior to the pandemic and proceeding with our original renovation plan, which, by the way, is just truly spectacular in its own right. As you can see in the slides, this project will truly transform the current facility. Our tentative timeline is to move both cosmetology and hospitality management programs into the Northern Center in January and begin preliminary work on the Jacobetti Complex this coming May, with an aggressive completion date of fall 2023. However, this initiative is so much more than only the renovation of a facility. It is a complete review of the programs and how they can be innovatively be updated, enhanced, and made distinctive to Northern. The initiative to transform the College of Business with a rural economies focus is being led by Dean Carol Johnson in partnership with COHOTUS professor Dr. Gary Brunswick, entrepreneurship and economics faculty, external advising constituents, and many other NMU personnel. This task force is creating and engaging Rural Economies External Advisory Group, along with an RETI, Rural Economies Teaching Institute, and READI, Rural Economies Academic Delivery Institute. All working titles, but are reflective of what it is that we are driving towards. The task force has a goal of having the RETI and READI action plans ready for first phase implementation by May. We are actively developing plans to build a new College of Business facility which would be located where McClintock is now or adjacent to it. What you see is an early architectural rendering of what this might look like, and we anticipate this would be funded almost entirely through private giving. The Collaborative Sustainability Initiative is what you heard from Jess and Bill as a big part of the SISU presentation. The goal is to have Northern become carbon neutral by 2050 or sooner. And Vice President Gavin Leach is creating a task force that will begin meeting in September. The group will begin its work on considering the recommendations the Northern students have researched and developed in the Northern 2030 Planning for a Collaborative Sustainability Report that was presented to me last spring. The task force will be considering this work throughout the fall semester. Gavin tentatively plans that his group will be able to provide me and the Executive Council with preliminary or phase 1 carbon neutrality report by February, which then can be shared with the campus community for broad feedback throughout March and April. Other than the implementation of the first phase of the development of the Shine Hub, which just discussed, many of the other facets of collaborative sustainability initiative have crossed over into other initiatives, such as the College of Business Transformation and the CTE Engineering Initiative, and the initiatives for expanding online and developing new academic programs. The initiative to reimagine inclusion and equity at Northern is well underway, being led by Leora Lancaster, Interim Director of the Student Equity and Engagement Center, and Veronica Kusek, Faculty Diversity Liaison. They, along with the President's Committee on Diversity and the President's Committee on Gender and Sexuality, have been discussing this idea and have provided me with some really interesting recommendations, about a dozen of them. And I'm reviewing them now and will be sharing with the Executive Council with the idea that we may be able to implement much of that low-hanging fruit as quickly as possible. The ones that certainly don't need the chief academic officer in place. Additionally, I'm putting together a search committee that will assist us all in finding the next chief diversity officer. My hope is that we can have our new chief diversity officer in place in the new calendar year. We'll be restructuring the chief diversity and inclusion office position and the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. There's a whole bunch more coming on this a bit later. Our chosen new Chief Diversity Officer's first task will be to guide us in the development of an equity, inclusion, and diversity plan. Tentatively, it's my hope that the plan will be vetted, revised, and approved and in place for the first phase implementation by January 2023. I anticipate this plan will include such things as diversity, equity, and inclusion assessment in each department, undertaking an external climate study, the new DEI student and professional staff to support housing and student affairs, developing a more strategic plan to diversify our faculty, and so much more. As Jess and Bill outlined, the SISU Institute will be leading the initiative for expanding online and developing new academic programs. I'm not going to spend any more time on that at this point, other than to say programs or program modifications that will clearly impact enrollment and those that are really distinctly Northern will receive support and investment. And frankly, I'm asked quite frequently, how much are we willing to make the investment? If you come with a great idea, we'll find a way to fund it, one way or another, because the future of the institution is truly tied to our ability to be innovative and responsive to the changing dynamics of public higher education. The sixth initiative for us is the Integrated Health and Counseling Service Operations. Vice President Gavin Leach will be leading the work on this initiative in cooperation with our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Chris Kirkpatrick, and Associate Vice President and Dean of Students, Chris Greer. The group will be seeking input from a variety of areas on campus. So if you have ideas on health and wellness, both physical and mental, please be ready to share those. Originally, we thought we'd begin working on this plan for this idea, but probably wouldn't have the funds to put that in place for a while. However, we've been discussing with a possible investment donor that could move this project forward. And I'll keep you updated if we're able to continue get this thing moving. But I think it's incredibly important. I believe we need to build a new health center. I believe we need to build it in connection with our housing operations so it's close by for our students, and that we fully integrate both physical and mental health services for our students. As Bethany and others have said, you know, this is really a critical issue for our students and something we need to pay particular attention to. As you may recall, if you reviewed the draft of the strategic plan revision, we do have a set of post-pandemic phase 2 priority projects. Any of those could quickly flip into phase 1 if designated funding is found and available and identified. I think part of the creating opportunities for innovation is simply being ready to switch gears when opportunities present themselves. Throughout Northern's ongoing strategic planning process over the years, we've used the phrase distinctly Northern to describe our innovation mindset. I've used the phrase several times today, and as higher education undergoes its current transformation period of change, those universities that stand out among the crowd for their quality, value, distinctiveness, have the greatest chance of thriving. It is my hope that every one of us who cares so deeply about Northern Michigan University, the institution, and Northern students will participate in whatever you can to add to our innovation efforts. We are a university of great ideas, and that will serve us well in the upcoming years ahead. Two other items I need to mention before I close, and as you know, Dr. Schuling will be stepping down from her role as Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs in January. This is in fact her last time she'll be serving as MC of this event for our fall conversation. I can tell you we will take time to celebrate Carrie's incredible contribution to Northern at every level later on this semester. But I wanted to give you a brief update on the transition plans for the provost position. I want to thank Associate Provost Dale Kapla for agreeing to serve in the interim provost role beginning January 2nd, and we will fill Dale's Associate Provost position internally on an interim basis. Details how individuals can express their interest will be shared once we have the semester fully up and running. The College of Business Dean, Carol Johnson, is chairing the Provost Search Committee, which has been meeting throughout the summer. The committee has met with me and Carrie to discuss the position and what we see as the opportunities and challenges for a new provost. It has also researched, interviewed, and selected an executive search firm with higher education experience. R. William Funk and Associates has been selected to assist with the national search, and the ad for the position was recently posted with a comprehensive advertising and recruiting process started. The group is also working on an updated job description. Our tentative timeline for the search is to have the committee review applications early this semester, do first round interviews in October, early November, select 3 to 4 finalists, bring them to campus, and have the process complete late in November or early December so that we are ready to be able to move forward the following January. I'm very pleased with the process of the search to date, and do want to sincerely thank Carol and every member of the search committee for putting in so much time and effort this summer. My second housekeeping item is just a quick mention that I'm in the process of reevaluating some of my advisory groups and may make some changes regarding their charges and how often they meet and who serves on them. These are mostly minor changes, but I want to let the campus know that I set a goal for myself this semester to examine how each group is functioning and if we're using our time in the most efficient and effective manner possible. We'll make those decisions after I've had a chance to have these discussions and get feedback from a variety of advisory groups and folks. And finally, thank you all who brought a donation to Northern's on-campus food pantry. It's been an extraordinary success, and if you haven't been by there lately, please do go by. The students who use the pantry have told me how grateful they are for the help. I hope you'll consider continuing to give to the pantry throughout the year. And I wish you a great start to the new academic year. I look forward to pushing the innovation envelope. I know Bill and Jess won't let me not push the innovation envelope. And despite the ongoing pandemic and the broad range of challenges that we face, it requires all of us. Let's make this year the very best we can, that we are not timid in our exploration of opportunities for innovation, and what we can do to make us even more distinctly Northern ought to be at the forefront of our thoughts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Erickson. I think we're all looking forward to getting the school year officially underway. Finally, I will leave you with part of a note that I received from a student who is a junior. He wrote to thank us all for enabling him to not just stay enrolled and finish his junior year, but he succeeded during this very stressful time. I quote, "If it were not for the exceptional work of the NMU community to foster an environment which provides such opportunity for success, then we would not be exchanging letters. The entire NMU faculty and staff body has been exceptional. Under normal circumstances, everyone here at NMU works together to create an educational experience that is hugely positive for the students and fosters a wonderful community which is a joy to participate in. Circumstances that befall us outside of our control test the bonds of this community and the commitment of its participants. I can genuinely say that from the position of students, you have succeeded in this, and we thank you for it." There's some light refreshments that you can take with you as you leave. Look forward to reconnecting with everybody, and it's a joy to see everybody on campus. Miigwech, and thank you for coming.